Mario, a good evening to you because it's 9 p.m., right?
Yes, it is 9 p.m.
So thank you
Nice
for
to meet
coming
you.
on quite late in the night. I'll throw a curveball at you. Why did you join the Real Watch?
Uh, 4 months ago, I had an awakening. Um, I think it was caused by Andrew's words. Essentially, I, I lost my drive for a year because of my career path. And I actually thought I was in a good position in life. Um, I'm almost an Australian citizenship. I'm Italian, as you can hear from the accent. So that was one of my goals. I'm an IT professional. So I thought I had a good position. But part of me always believed that I could achieve more. And then one day I just woke up and I was like, this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. I achieved all of this and I had like a difficult life context from which I grew from, but there was no excuse. And I was like, okay, if this is nothing, then what's next? So I saw that Andrew Tate actually talked about the Hustler University. So I was like, sure, why not? So I tried it. I just registered like anyone else. And then I went into the crypto channel where Prof. Adam started to teach me about investment. And I realized all the brutal mistakes I made in the past when I started investing crypto. And then from there, it was just, I was just on, I was just sold, and I was like um, impressed by the quality of the material. And I remember this day in which the university website went down, and I was so freaking upset because I thought, fuck, this is my tool, this is my mean to get somewhere. I don't have this tool now. Will I have it tomorrow? I have no idea. All I know is that when it's live again, I'll have to hurry up. Yeah, did I answer your question?
Yes, yes, you did. So a few things I noted down to go into. First, before you joined, did you think it might be a scam?
No, the reason being is because I know a lot of people call scams what they don't know. And I thought, even if it's a scam, I've been prey of one in the past. So I was like, certainly I'm not going to put my credit card anywhere. I think it's going to be a risk or give my crypto to anyone. So I thought, okay, there's zero risk because I'm enough educated. I truly feel that Andrew's teaching is actually something that resonates and vibrates with my soul. So I thought immediately it wasn't a scam. But then when I was in, I was like, man, this is gold. This is actually gold. I better capture all the learning that this university can give me.
Right, right. Okay. So in terms of material, how different has it been compared to maybe what you can find out on the internet?
So imagine that you live in a world of pure chaos and confusion where you do not actually have a mentor. So you basically use 10, 100 times the time that you would use to learn something in order to get to the point that you want, such as being profitable and investing in crypto. And knowing why, because everyone can get lucky, like everyone can have a good trade or a good investment entry, but then you can do like many, especially like me, uh, not sell and take profits close to the top, for instance, or not change strategy as short when it's time and not having idea of all the factors that involve quantitative easing and quantitative analysis. So you sort of lose a track and then you feel desperate when you see all your profits going away and also part of your money going away. So there's a lot of learning and it feels like it's truth about the market, truth about human behaviors, truth about yourself that you must face. So when you see your past mistakes, you're like, huh, pain is there to teach me something, but now it's up to me to fight instead of fly. And what's better to do than actually learn and fight.
Before you joined the real world, what mistakes were you making when investing into crypto?
So the reason why I started investing specifically in crypto is because I had a goal, and the goal was to invest in a partnership with my ex-girlfriend and buy a house. Her stash was bigger than mine, so I had to find a way to grow my money. And the easiest way I thought at the time was crypto. So I started investing in it, and it was halfway through the bull market, and I had a target to reach. So you can imagine the human psychology behind. While I was seeing my money stash growing, I had a target to reach. Although I was aware that the market didn't give a damn about my target, everyone was calling for a higher top. So I missed the first top. And when after the first drop, I didn't sell because, of course, higher top. We went a little bit higher, and I didn't sell because everyone was calling for a higher top. And then since then, the market started to drop, and it started to drop. And I didn't have any system or any tools that would tell me that was actually the right moment to sell. So what happened is that I saw my target diminishing and getting smaller and smaller. And not only I lost some of the profit, but I also lost some of my money. And that's what I was referring before as either you fly or fight. And what's the best way to fight than to learn?
Right. Okay, and now since you're saying after having joined the real world, now you have an actual strategy to follow instead of just hoping that the market goes up.
Yeah, definitely. So what happened is that the first feeling that I had when I started to understand what Adam was teaching, it was that I was cheating. The reason being is because I had a tool and a system that, despite all my researches, I never seen anyone teaching, and that especially no one was teaching anything similar at the similar professional level. So when I started to understand how that would work, I was like, oh my God, this is gold. I better learn and catch up with these teachings and make my own investment system based on this teaching because that's the best thing I can do for myself.
Great. Love to hear that. And now I'd like you to clarify if you're open to saying the figures. Either profit loss since you've started in the real world or figures if you're comfortable giving them.
I'll give an eyeball figure. So I'm an IT professional. I'm a contractor, and I have my own company. That means that technically my company gets hired to do some coding work, right? So I save in taxes because I pay taxes just on what I have. My IT professional salary is somewhat in the gross figure of Australian dollars, something around maybe 18, 20K a month gross, which includes GST, which is our 10% tax, and all the taxes, right? So I invest part of that money, and then I pay the taxes. Now, I started following the Adams signals around, I believe it was end of December of January, when we sort of touched the bottom of the crypto market. Now someone would say, oh, you got lucky because you got in the right moment. But that's what haters will say because I wasn't actually at the right moment. The moment I joined, there were signals that would say to invest, but then immediately after, other signals that would say, okay, returning cash position because it's not safe. So I had to follow that very carefully because, of course, if it's not the right moment and the quantitative analysis that Adam Systems provides you together with other factors that he explains in his system and gives you this better probability to be right in what the market is going to do. At the end of the day, it worked out that I stepped in a little bit later, a little bit after the first pump, when we recovered from the bottom. So I had an immediate up of 22%. So I believe that on the first pump and the first positive signal that positioned me in long, I made 22%. So it was basically 10K. This figure though is US dollars because I keep my portfolio in US dollars because it's just cooler than Australian dollars. That was 10K. And then from there were multiple signals, and I started to do the advanced signal portfolio that Adam is giving in his channels. And I think I've scored another 8% the next month, and another 8% the month after. And that's not luck. That's the thing. It's absolutely no luck, because in this context, there have been weeks in which the market went down and some dump. So it wasn't just up, right? So in a way, when you swing trading, because that's what we are doing with Adam, he's teaching a system to do swing trading. You have the objectives to take small losses, but get right the big movements. So if you have a whip, you probably get a loss because you cannot really predict a whip. A whip is something very unpredictable, like a black swan, right? But the big movements up, that's where you can get, and that's where you can actually make money, as well as big movement down. So at the end of the day, I'm seeing after 3 months of just following Adam's signal, while I'm investing my time in building my own system. 20, I can't remember the exact figure, but I think it was 25% up. And of course, I know that's not something like you can keep forever, because the market will most likely be stagnant at a certain point, go down and go up. But what I can see though is already the compounding effect, because the amount of money that I haven't yet paid for taxes, which I'm investing, is compounding in interest in already 3 months. Essentially, I'm discounting my taxes. And yes, someone will say, oh, you're crazy. You are investing your tax money. Of course, it's risky, but I know how Adam's system works, and I know where is my margin of error. So I always keep stash of cash to pay taxes, but I try to pay as little as possible myself for my personal income, so that I can invest everything into this while I'm building my own system.
Right. How many hours were you putting into learning your own system since you've joined the Real Watch?
So I'm finding myself for consistency. So one of my biggest challenge, I believe that to reach success, your biggest challenge is yourself. Funny enough, I know what's discipline, because I knew discipline through fitness. I used to have 10 kilos on top of me, and now I'm fit. I do CrossFit 6 times a week. I do beach volleyball. I do a lot of things. So I know what it takes to have a good body and good physique, because you need discipline. Same thing must be applied to business. And I want to send out a message here, because to answer your question, I can do 20 hours on top of my work, sometimes per week. And sometimes I fail to even just put more than 3 hours. The amount of personal growth that someone has to do in order to achieve consistency is not trivial. You will have to grow personally. You will have to face all your blockers or your laziness or whatever. You have to build a mind fortitude in order to actually work after work in my case, because I work 8 hours. I train 1 hour. I stop cooking. I start to buy healthy prepared meal to save time. And I found different mechanisms that force me to do my shit after work, after training, when I'm tired. Because I cannot watch myself in the mirror if I don't do this. So I adopted different tricks. I think the one that works the most is having a daily task of things to do. Adam once posted this daily list. So I built mine, which is very different from his because I'm building my system. Yeah. And I made it in a way that after each row, there is a check. So every day after work, I go there, I see my Excel spreadsheet. Is it checked? No. Was it checked yesterday? Yes, sometimes, no other times. What did I do? Why did I choose to not do it? What is the price I'm paying? For instance, am I dating too much? Am I playing beach volleyball too much? Am I getting too tired? Why am I not getting my shit done? What kind of man I am if I say that I'm worth of something and I'm not actually putting the action in place to do the things that makes me successful. It is not easy at all, mate. It's a constant effort and a constant strong will to actually get there after work and do their job every day. But that's what it takes. So that's the road ahead.
Do you have long-term goals as well, or do you just focus on the daily goals?
So Master Tate, which is one of the professors in the university, made a good post about long-term goals. In short, I hope to interpret it correctly, but in short, it means that long goals means nothing if you don't have daily and weekly and monthly goals. So I shifted my focus from having long goals, which I have, and I'm going to disclose them in a second, to daily tasks. If reaching $1 million is my long-term goal, what the heck do I need to do every day to get there? Because I don't want to reach it in 10 years. Everything is a trade with time, right? And I'm 37. I'm not a youngling anymore, right? I am fit. I look younger, all of that. Yeah, but I'm still 37. So I want to be young enough to enjoy my best time when I still can, and I want to be old. So what are the things I'm willing to sacrifice on a daily basis to actually do my tasks? And then I wrote my daily tasks.
What kind of an impact did the community within the real world have on you?
Well, it is amazing to see a lot of students grinding together with you, asking similar questions to what you have in mind, but also contributing to the university. As a matter of fact, some of the coaches that are in the university are currently former students that follow a certain path inside the university and became a coach. So that's cool. That's something really cool to see. But also sometimes when the coaches in different channels are not available, you see other students jumping in and answering your questions because maybe they ask themselves first, or they were just promptly ready to answer you because maybe some coach answered the question before. So you feel welcome, then everyone is there with the same intent to success and to succeed. So it's actually really warming.
Great, love that. And for everything you spoke about, all the value, why do you think they only charge $49 for all of it?
I honestly don't know. I felt like it was charity, and then I was thinking that it was charity because it was too cheap for the quality of the content. And then a couple of months after, uh, Adam says something on the same line. As a matter of fact, I would have paid more, honestly. As a professional IT, I would have paid more for that. And I participated to seminars here in Australia. You know, those kind of seminars that they basically meant to give you a little bit of information to just sell you a course. And those courses would go somewhere between 2K to 12K in certain cases. And to do what? Here at the university, you pay basically nothing to have the possibility, the ability to learn things that actually work. So I really don't mind how much it costs. For me, it's just free. After all, I made the money back in less than 5 days. So
Right. Love that. Now let's go on to, is there anything to say, or has this been mentioned already in terms of when you first joined the real world and were going through the crypto campus? What was the biggest mistake you made?
not immediately following Adam's signals. I'm an engineer, so if I don't understand things, I don't feel confident. And that's just simply me. Okay, I'm a software engineer. That's how I work. Um, but the idea is that you can. It's not more of an idea. It's actually I can really feel Adam's intent of making me succeed. Okay, when I'm a lazy ass a day, I feel his voice in the back of my head saying, "What are you doing? Go back and do your daily task, please." All right, I do that, and I'm human, so sometimes uh, I lack. Sometimes I'm excelling on my daily task, right? But I really feel it, and I also have uh, proof of what I'm saying because Adams created this first version of the master class that made me knowledgeable. Then he created on top of that the second iteration called Masterclass 2, and Adams that's the best masterclass ever created. And it was mind blowing because it filled all the gaps on knowledge I had. And now I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to connect the dots. So my engineer mind is actually um, clicking and working. So to go back to the first mistake I made was actually not following Adam's signals from the very first day. I would have been better off just following and then catch up with what I had to learn in order to understand them.
Because, yeah, I've seen quite a few times people referring to Adam as a crypto genius, crypto wizard, like something along those lines. Just even the other professors just saying he's like insanely smart. So yeah, interesting. I can imagine. I haven't gone through the master classes, but from all the feedback I've heard from everyone else, it seems it's definitely very good material. Someone even referred to it as the university level course in terms of what you learn from a master's degree, not even bachelor. So yeah, it's interesting to hear all that, and all of that being provided for $50 a month. Okay. Now moving on to a bit, I'd say the trickiest question. Let me know if you need some time to think about it. What have been the three biggest lessons you've learned from your time in the real world?
Be consistent with what I want for myself, meaning that if I really want to be successful, I actually need to put in the work. And there's no magic pill, just work. That's the first one. Consistency. The second one is being honest with myself, which means that if I made a mistake or if I'm postponing, just don't make a fancy dream about how I will be in the future when I'm going to be successful. Just be very real. So if you don't put in the work, don't fantasize about it. Just go back to work, and then we talk about success. So be real. Second one. Let me think about third one. Third one is when things don't um, are not right the way you're doing them, do not go on the couch and watch Netflix. Do not be sad because your system is not working the way you want to work. The more time you spend on the couch, the more time you're being upset at yourself. No one gives a damn. You're just losing your own time. What you need to do is, it doesn't work. I don't go to sleep until I make it work. Or I'll go on it again tomorrow and I'll make it work. Just don't lose time. It's okay to fail, and that's how you learn. And I know all of these lessons. I learned that through life, but sometimes you actually forget them, you know? Sometimes you need to remind your own self what the heck you learned in the past and just apply those lessons. And it's very
Yeah.
easy trap to fall in again.
What would you say to people who would call all of that excessive, all that work? Because you have a normal job and then putting in so much time to crypto on the side. I mean, to normal people, yeah, it might seem too excessive.
That's a very good question. So I elaborate on top of that because firstly, uh, I had a lot of hobbies. I had beach volleyball. I'm a dancer. I dance salsa and bachata, Latin dance, and a thousand different things, including dating. Okay, people will not understand you. They will not understand your reasons. They will try to drag you down, like, uh, similar to when you're on diet and they invite you to get an ice cream. They will say, but you're working too much. Why don't you go to the cinema? Why we're not having this dinner out? What I answer to them is that I chose these things for my life at this moment. It doesn't mean I don't do anything else. It just means that I dedicate the time to entertain on the basis of what I think is actually enough for myself. So instead of being entertained 20 hours a week, I would be entertained 5. Is this enough to keep me sociable and happy? Probably yes. I don't need more. Do I need to watch a movie on Netflix? No. See, the answer is simple, right? So, you want to go watch this movie? If it fits in my 5 hours of entertainment during the week, I would say either yes or no, or I choose priorities. So maybe less dating, less beach volleyball, less dancing, because you actually recreate your priorities. And everything, this is magic actually. When you redefine your priorities, everything reflects your own decisions. So your own reality around yourself start to change. And I'll make an example with women. You date and you basically make a trade of time towards these women, right? But when you say that you are driven because you have objectives, then automatically the type of women that you attract will be different, will be more understanding of what you're doing. And the funny thing is, if they are not, it's not a problem. You have different priorities. You choose differently. And if you have if you have none, that's fine too. Because you know what? You have different priorities, right? So you need to be like, I would say I'm 37 and I had my share of fun in the past. And I would trade that share of fun to be 20 and starting the Hustler University at 20. So keep that in mind.
To add on to what you were saying, the type of person you are is the type of people you will attract to you as well. So if you're working on yourself, as in your case, you're saying you attract different kind of women, and I'm sure different kind of men as well around you in terms of brotherhood, that kind of thing. than if you were to just be lazy on the couch watching Netflix. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I would say that automatically I stopped seeing certain friends. And funny enough, um, I talked about one of my best friends about the Astor University. But you see a lot of common rejections, even from people that you take care of. And in a way, your consciousness is pushing you to talk about this good news to people that you care of. But then you realize not all of them are actually able to receive it or to be at least open-minded to try. Because you're not, I wasn't really trying to convince anyone. I was like, just try it, right? So it's a big disappointment because you care about those people, but you soon realize that you're heading somewhere where there will be so much different connections to what you have right now, and the quality will be much different. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I live in Sydney, and I would live. I will literally give my pinky to anyone that want to actually form a brotherhood that push each other in the crypto investing system to actually work together. Because yes, I do it online through the Astor University, but I would be really happy to find someone in real life that would work shoulder to shoulder with me and push through,
Right. And that masculine competition as well is what you'd get out of that. Having someone like that just supercharging your progress.
I compete in CrossFit, I compete in beach volleyball. So why not have a positive competition in business?
What would you say for has Tate had any kind of impact on you?
Andrew Tate was Andrew Tate's teaching resonated with me very well because I am, in a way, a straight shooter as he is. And I am very realistic when I say things, and I'm quite brutal when I say things. So I don't go around, I just tell you what I think, including things to women. You can well imagine how funny that is when you have a certain dialogue with women, and then you say you believe in sex equality, but you want me to pay the bill all the time. You don't even make an effort to take out your credit card and pay. So is there sex equality? No, there's no sex equality. I'm here, I'm the man, and I need to pay the bill. I'm here to provide. There's no other truth. That's actually the human behavior. Then you can say whatever you want. That's one example out of 3,000. Yeah. So Andrew brought me to a point in which I couldn't face myself anymore if I didn't take action. Okay. That was the biggest motivator. A couple of weeks ago, I actually dreamt of Tristan. I had a full dialogue with Tristan, and he was looking at me and saying something like, "What are you doing? Why are you not working on your shit?" And I dreamt of it, And I felt so bad after that dream. I was like, fuck, I need to work. I need to put myself back to work. All right. So it's really incepted into me. And look, there are many haters out there. They haven't tried the Astor University, or they even haven't tried anything in their lives. And I honestly don't give a damn for the simple reason. If you haven't tried, you cannot judge. But even if you try, answer me this. Did you put all your effort in for at least 6 months and then you didn't gain any result out of it? Because that's not possible. And you can feel every time you either fail or you to study or to put in the work, or you don't get things right, that all the system in the Aston University is made with a pure intent to make you succeed. And then you start to ask yourself, is this actually real? And I think the business model in the real world of the Aston University actually works because, yes, you create a lot of successful people, you improve those people, you make them grow, you make have them an experience that otherwise they will never have had in their life. For what? $50 a month? Look, even if building, for instance, in my case, even if you're a sloppy motherfucker and it takes you a year to build Adam's investment system, which is plausible, let's say so, or it takes you 2 years, it's still 2 years of golden time that you invested in learning a system that you will have to update along the line, but it will bring you money in the long run. So why the heck not doing it? And my biggest motivator is finish the system, keep maintaining the system, and create another income stream from another channel in the university, like the e-commerce, right? And so I keep building. Man, this is just, there's no time to waste. There's just time to do. And that's why I get so upset at myself the few times I fail and I can get myself to work. Because I know that I don't have time to waste. I know I'm 37, but even if I was 20, I would probably push 3 times what I'm doing, you know, because you have the advantage of the young age. I didn't even know what business was when I was 20. Yeah, I grew up in a totally different context of life. Each one of us is different, but at a certain time in your life, you'll awake. When you do it, just put in the work. And as far as I know, there is no better way to do it in the Austin University because the system they teach are actually real. So, and I'm no advocate. I'm not like I don't get anything out of this thing that to you when you ask me the questions. I'm a straight shooter, yeah. But there's really no other way, as far as I know, that works in real life. And I tried things in the past on my own. I waste money and time.
And yeah, before when I'd hear that the real world is the best educational platform on the in the planet, I'd be like, maybe surely that's exaggerating. But after having done all these interviews, I actually see it for myself now that it really is. In terms of, I mean, if you want to do, I mean, be a doctor, then yes, university is the best. But I mean, in terms of everything else on there, that's in terms of online education, it just seems the real world really is the best there is. There's nothing else that actually compares. Like anything you think of just doesn't compare to it. So really appreciate you taking all this time again out of the evening. It's late for you. So thank you. For people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can search my name, Mario Romano Lopez. Maybe you can leave a link in the description. Yeah, you can contact me there. Of course, my LinkedIn is my IT professional curricula. So all the information you find there is related to my IT profession, but you know what I'm doing after work.
And I look forward to doing a follow up with you, Mario, in the future, maybe in 3 months or so, to see how things are scaled for you, how you're doing. And until then, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, mate.